Am I ready? Anytime. Moe.
Before we start, one last time, please know this will be a very chaotic video. There's probably going to be excessive swearing, sexual themes, and crude humor. So again, viewer discretion is advised. Got it? Good. I'm Mark Sodic, and tonight I'm going to be teaching you how to access Sad Panda using a VPN. If you're expecting a sponsor here, you clearly don't know who I am, so feel free to look into my hard drive. Because today we're overanalyzing an anime only real freaks care about. Renkin 3Q Magical Pokān, aka Magical Pokān, aka Magipoka, translated to Alchemist Grade 3 Magical Pokān. Do you not know what a Pokān is?
Me neither.
Magipoka is a mid-2000s ecchi comedy that is predominantly known for Liru. And the most notable thing I must mention is that one game I won't get into, lest I risk the whole video getting taken down.
Thank you for playing!
Getting back to business, the pretentious side of me likes to call Magipoka a reverse isekai. A reverse isekai is exactly how it sounds. Characters from another world coming into our own, and instead of instantly fitting in like the MCs of our modern isekais, they struggle. Like, the devil's a part-timer. And while Magipoka is an ecchi anime, a very problematic one at that, it's actually much more tame than you think. It's practically in the background. Until it isn't. In those cases they really go all in, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The whole anime is covered in panty shots and yada yada.
No game, no life does the same shit and y'all love it so much.
It's more of a moe slice of life. I originally planned to awkwardly compare it to Lucky Star, but that doesn't really work for what I'm going for. That, and it would make me look more deranged than I already am. Enough beating around the bush, Magipoka is one of my favorite animes ever made. And it's not nostalgia that's making me say this. I watched this anime like not even 2 years ago, and nostalgia is only skin deep.
For me at least.
Although it definitely reminds me of times when I first got into anime. It has that certain anime charm to it all you retro fucks like so much. I totally expect to see these characters on a breakcore thumbnail one day. And if I don't, I'll break my thumbs. Hey look, Nichijou. Yeah, this anime is a great way to contrast this anime. They each star a cast of 3 girls and a motherly robot, but the way Nichijou handles it is way more dignified and relaxing. It's an actual slice of life, full of relatable moments. But then there's Magipoka, which is a complete 180. Everything is barely holding together. I think a common question that's asked around this anime is who the anime was even made for.
Pedophiles.
DJ pedophile, keep your kids safe. Can't get rid of pedophile that easy.
The anime, and especially manga, can easily fool you into thinking it's some cutesy Sanrio-esque children's coloring book, juxtaposed to its actual content, a la panty and stocking. And it's not like this anime is casting a wide net either. It just seems completely disconnected from society itself, like it's actively trying not to fit in, which I think helps enforce the plot of the show. Our 4 main characters are outsiders. They're creatures that don't belong in that world. They're completely oblivious to the norm and just want to get along with everyone and live in peace. And all of their problems are so out there and unrelatable that calling it a slice of life feels like calling Mob Psycho a magical girl.
I'm right.
Most of the episodes are just them sticking out like sore thumbs and being utterly clueless. Speaking of clueless,
this video is gonna take a lot longer to make than I thought.
Speaking of long, this anime isn't. You can kill it in a day very easily. It only has 15 episodes with each one containing 2 disconnected stories. But its episodic nature makes it end up with some hits and some horrible misses. The first episode is by far the worst. I wouldn't blame anyone if they immediately turned the show off. It doesn't really show off anything positive in the show. Honestly, it seems like a test of your patience. They repeat situations and jokes rule of 3 style, but it takes a lot longer for it to. It takes a lot longer than it should to get to the point. I think the idea was to show off how bad it can get, and also to show off the most ignorable antagonist of all time. In fact, I'm pretty sure the main cast forgets about them too. You could stop the video here and come back if the anime interests you. Again, I'm not advocating for it, and I'm certainly not trying to persuade anyone otherwise. All I can say is, good luck out there. Anyway, I'm not here to give you a fucking plot synopsis. And there isn't even much of a plot, as it's more of just a playground where writers throw random shit at the wall to see what sticks. The anime is character driven, and the cast is what you're there for.
The characters and designs.
They're revealing, they're impractical, and
Their peak.
apparently they're supposed to be princesses alongside being monsters, and there's also a fifth monster girl that lives with them, but we're just gonna keep pretending she doesn't exist.
Well, if you're there and I'm here, then that means there's a ghost!
I rarely see animes that treat characters equally, and they all complement and balance each other out perfectly. Which is crazy because IRL roommates are a match made in Kevin. Anyway, let's talk about the characters.
Yuma.
I'm gonna keep it so real with you. I absolutely love Yuma. Yuma is a witch that straight up does not give a fuck. She's so done with taking things seriously and has little to no motivation to do anything. And if she does manage to find that energy, she spends it on the dumbest shit imaginable. God, that's relatable. They often try to expand on this idea, especially in the last episode, which was really sweet. But most of the time they opt out to have her be a panty-flashing moron.
Panty is optional.
So sadly, if Yuma's your favorite character, I have some bad news. It means you're stuck playing pedophile hot potato. Yuma just doesn't deserve this kind of treatment, man. It's just not fair. She's a third-rate magician with a fourth-rate staff. As the show's name suggests, Yuma is not good at magic. Unlike other magical girls, she can't just wave her wand around and save the day. Not that she would if she could, though. If her magic worked, I'm pretty sure God would cry. Her magic ranges from, oh wow, it worked. Not in the intended way, but way to go, Yuma, to, Jesus Christ, Yuma, unplug the controller, dog. Just forfeit. So whenever you see her wannabe Sakura sequence, prepare for things to get much worse. Yuma is also voiced by the stupidly adorable Momoko Saito, and personally, it should be a crime that she hasn't gotten more roles.
Salty is a gem though, so it's fine.
Pakira.
Pakura's kinda great. Alongside Liru, she's a fan favorite, and she's the first character to appear in the show, followed with an immediate panty shot. Very classy. And I love that no one takes her seriously. She's the only Netherworld character that actually seems believable. Like, you're not gonna convince me a robot and which rabbit child is from hell.
なんだお前魔界のものなのか
まあ一応魔法使いだよ。
じゃあ地獄
じ
Pakura's a vampire which comes with all of the bells and whistles. But what kind of vampire donates blood? Well, one that's trying to get into someone's pants. Truly, this is why yin and yang was invented. Pakura's usually self-absorbed and shallow compared to the others. She's the lewdest in the show, having practically no shame, which is good I think. She balances out the ecchi content in the end. And also Aya Hirano is an absurdly good voice actor, so put some respect on her name.
Aiko.
I want to give Aiko the world, man. In my heart of hearts, she is the best girl. Aiko is a robot that wants to be human. No, really guys, it's a crazy concept. Aiko is the housewife of the gang. She does all the chores and makes sure no one dies. And I like that despite being really quick at everything, she still sucks at making things like food. Her background gags are funny too. And I like that her glasses aren't glasses either, but part of her robot model. Her sympathy and overall appearance is a great blanket for the cast too, making the show a tiny bit more than just trashy gooner bait.
Liru.
Liru is a werewolf. I don't have much to say about Liru, so instead I'll let these amazing posts do the speaking. Aiko best girl. People only care about that Liru slut because Brown and Kimono Mimi, even though she's the most boring girl, probably didn't even watch the show anyway. I wanna fuck that wolf. The show would be forgotten, if not for the lewdness of Liru's body. Why do people like Liru again?
Dark skin, wolf girl, skimpy clothing, biggest bust, cute as hell. No idea.
More like shit skin, dog girl, slut outfit, tomboy.
You're stupid!
My Liru folder has 881 files. I even have a folder of 335 screenshots of Liru I took while watching the anime. I took every possible shot of Liru in this anime when she's taking the I took every possible shot of Liru in the anime when she's taking the biggest space on screen. I even had to stop multiple times in the video to reach her perfect pose. Reach the perfect 10th of a second for a screenshot.
Based?
Jesus Christ, help me. Are you me?
That feeling when she sees your Liru folder?
Aiko weighs 300 kilograms. She's too much for one man to handle. 300 kilograms of pussy and ass. Liru is love. I have fapped to her perhaps more than any other. If I had a Liru, so help me God, I would visit such oh my.
If I had a Liru, so help me God, I would visit such unholiness upon her anus, that you would never shit again out of sheer sympathy. As I took great handfuls of her peachy white cheeks in my hands, Satan himself would begin to weep with joy. He knows that the sin I'm going to commit will damn every soul in existence. That the profane, wet noises alone will stain the universe with its echoes for all eternity. That the sight of my face buried in her will scorch the eyes of God himself.
Anyone else develop a dark skin fetish from Liru?
So yeah, I think she's a pretty good character.
The comedy.
I love comedy, I'm sure you could tell. So trust me when I say Magipoka is one of the greatest out there. Some of this shit I have to wonder how they even storyboarded it. I can't even imagine putting it on paper because it's so absurd. There's plenty of subtle background jokes that I honestly missed out on my first viewing, and jokes that are very, very child friendly that make you forget that it's rated 18 with sexual and adult themes.
こうなったら魔法で空気を抜けろ。ほい。
That leads us to the dirty jokes. Usually with that kind of humor, the writers usually back out before things get too crazy. But Magipoka does not like to tease. It seems like Magipoka's motto was to see how far they could push it, which makes the viewing experience a great, if not stressful time. Again, they're from the netherworld. They don't have morals or shame. Therefore, you can kind of get away with anything otherworldly and bizarre, all the while making more sense than cheesy pornos or lucky guy harem anime. But these two worlds colliding created absolute chaos, and very rarely do you see this combo done. And when it is, it's treated as a joke, and that joke ends at haha cute things in mature setting, ooh-wee. But Magipoka transcends that, giving reason to the madness, and giving life to the doom and gloom of this otherwise miserable goon tune. You get the best of both worlds, the calm, lazy afternoons that's full of curiosity and wonder, but also the nitty-gritty reality tucked away in the corner, and the small realizations that dreaming forever is far worse than dreaming for a day. Learning that the instant gratification of magic is less special and magical than, well, trying your best in reality. Learning that your failures and shortcomings can spur on the real magic in life, bringing forth the moments that are more impactful and human, and the moments that inspire people to get better. It's a really good message, and it's really bizarre that it's stuck in a show like this. I'm not crying, you're crying. Anyway, I want to talk about the music.
The music.
Opening, ending, and soundtrack, all of it. The opening is by Yosei Taikoku, who's responsible for the Mirai Nikki / Future Diary opening, which is arguably the coolest anime opening of all time. And I think Magipoka's opening is probably in my top 5. It's edgy Yuri bait nonsense that doesn't match the tone of the show in the slightest. I've heard that this opening was actually a mistake, because when the artist was commissioned, they weren't given a proper explanation of what the show was about, which led them to think that it was edgy monster girls. So the misleading appearance led to a mistake that made the misleading even more misleading. And holy shit, that's kinda funny. This could just be a playground rumor, however, because I haven't been able to find an official source for this claim. Magipoka also has 4 endings, each with their own lyrics and visuals relating to the character of focus in that episode. And I love, love, love these endings.
Aiko's is the best.
But they're all nice in their own way.
The soundtrack.
Much like the opening and ending, I still find myself regularly listening to Magipoka's soundtrack. It has a surprising amount of variety and has some great talent behind it. I've been using it in the background of this video, so you should understand by now how good it is. So seriously, if there's anything to take away from this anime, please make it the soundtrack. Closing statements. Magipoka is not worth raving about. If it doesn't look like your thing, then it 100% isn't your thing. And I will never ever suggest someone watch it, because you should just watch Nichijou instead. Magipoka is horrendously unique, and I like anime that dares to try something different. And Magipoka was one of the few that was capable of scratching my dastardly itch. And honestly, it's some real outsider art. And one day I hope all forms of art will be viewed equally, even if the content is extremely unhinged.
How is that tasteless? It's art.
Get that out. Get that out.
You can't even see
Get
the
it
child.
out.
Magipoka is truly something special, and I hope it can continue on one day, even if it takes on a new form. Thank you for watching this insane video. I just wanted to make a compact video about one of my niche interests, and also explain my questionable behavior. Okay, I'm leaving. Subscribe at your own risk.